You're listening to the Peasinner Network. For more great podcasts, go to peasinner.com.au.
Peasinner
and Co.
The weave is broken. Those of might and magic are fallen. Factions fly to fill the vacuum of power as the spell plague brings destruction across the Forgotten Realms. Two heroes meet in the abandoned ruins of the Sword Coast town of Leylon. Women skilled in sword and sorcery, upon whose shoulders rests the fate of the entire Forgotten Realm.
Wait. Is he talking about us?
I sure hope not, because that sounds like a lot of responsibility.
Oh, gods. Hello and welcome to Best Let Forgotten, the deliberately unofficial and uncanon D&D actual play podcast. My name is Nathan Condry and I'm your Dungeon Master.
My name is Miriam Feats and I play Clarrybelle Trollbleeder, the Dwarven Barbarian.
My name is Jess Wolfendale and I play Flick Goldkind, the Gnome Druid.
In case you'd forgotten, Flick misty-stepped into the room holding Gundren Rockseeker while Clarrybelle rendezvoused with the Lord's Alliance, both planning a daring rescue attempt to release Gundren from Cragmore Keep. As Clarrybelle infiltrated the keep alongside Sildar Hallwinter, Flick met a helpful automaton, bickered with Gundren, and wild-shaped into a lizard to carry Gundren out of the tower. Meeting in the middle of their respective rescue attempts, Flick and Clarrybelle finally faced down the Black Spider, Flick retreating to keep Gundren safe while Clarrybelle and the Lord's Alliance fought to defeat the spider, at the cost of the life of Dominic Drumwillow.
Let's jump right in. It's the day after. So yes, you have fully healed and gained the benefits of a long rest, as well as tears, as you stand just outside of Fandalen with the full cohort of Rockseeker brothers, Tharden, Nundro, Gundren, Sildar, Lambert, Cecil of the Lord's Alliance, and the now deceased body of Dominic Drumwillow at a small service. Sildar understood the importance of this. She was very keen to move as quickly as possible because you did leave some guards at the castle as you left, but she understood the importance of this moment. She steps forward and looks over the body. It is with much sadness that we are here at the passing of Dominic Drumwillow, a great man who blessed many of his fellow dude bros. He will be sorely missed, but many lay down their lives for the Lord's Alliance and their cause. Would anybody wish to say a few words?
I think I'd like to say something.
Please.
I don't know all that much about this Lord's Alliance stuff, and I have to say I didn't know Dominic Drumwillow for very long. But in the time that I did know him, he proved to be a loyal, brave, and passionate warrior. His self-expression was unmatched by anyone I've ever met, and his vivacity and joy in the job that he did will stay with me forever. And I am proud to have called him a friend. And she walks forward, and I think as a warrior, pulls out a dagger and slices gently across her palm so there's some blood on the dagger, and lays it next to Dominic and steps back.
Lambert begins to weep and is unable to say anything. Cecil steps forward. It is no secret that Dominic and I did not always see eye to eye, him representing the young guard and I representing the old. His dedication was touching, and his vivacity, as Clarrybelle said, was infectious. I have seen many go and many come, but he was one of the special ones. And he pulls out a flower and places it across Dominic's chest.
Yeah, I'll step up. She's not in much of a state to speak at the moment, and just sort of says,
Dominic believed in us. He believed in everyone. And I don't think you want us to be sad. You can't spell funeral without fun. Thank you, bro.
And I sort of step towards the body and I just use Druidcraft to make that flower sort of spread a little. It looks dope. I make it dope.
Sildar closes out the service. You're allowed to move off as she sorts out the body using her paladin skills alongside Cecil. After that's done, she approaches you. While it is sad and we must mourn, we must move quickly. The agents of the Black Spider are still at large, and we do not know how much information they may have gathered outside of Gundren. Overnight, Gundren has completed the work that was begun by Nandro and Tharden. Luckily, they were quite thorough and the work is of a reasonable quality. We believe we understand how to enter the cave now. It would be our honor for you to join us.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we will definitely join you. I also have these, and I'll produce the papers that I found on the Black Spider's body. Perhaps it would be a good idea to have Gundren look over these as well. There could be a hidden message that I just can't see.
Certainly. And she hands them on to Gundren. Is there anything you would like to do before you head off to the cave?
We should probably give the horses
Yeah, we should probably give the horses back.
Okay. You return the horses, and you get back your orb. Who is going to be holding on to the orb?
I don't know what that means.
I think we established it meant I'm holding it.
Great.
Okay.
Clarrybelle has the orb.
Yeah.
And you head to Wave Echo Cave,
Yes.
the secret cave.
Yep.
As you arrive there as a group, it is still unguarded. The bodies of the guards that you left there are starting to smell a little bit. Gundren moves forward as Sildar begins to just drag the bodies out of the way. And he begins to work on the door, saying a few things, painting some stuff onto the wall, and you start to see kind of some glowing happening. First general, and then more specific as letters start to appear and shift and change and move as the door begins to slowly unlock. And then there's a crackle behind you, audible. You turn, and you see what appears to be a crack in time and space. And you can see through, and there's dark, deep black purple, and a figure steps through.
Sorry, this is behind us?
This is behind you.
Oh, gosh.
It's a tall figure, over 6 feet tall, wearing a high-collared, beautiful purple cloak flowing down. They have long purple arms that stand in front of them, these giant eyes, and this tentacled mouth.
Oh no.
From the cloak, this creature pulls out a staff, knocks it 3 times on the ground, and your entire existence warps around you. Everything goes black, and you lose sight of everybody else around you, including each other.
Can I reach out to see if I can take Flick's hand?
Yes, you can. You find Flick as your reality starts to fade around you, and everything turns to black. You look across Flick, you can see Clarrybelle. Clarrybelle, you can see Flick. Clarrybelle is holding you. You begin to fall into darkness. And then you land on some ground. You blink, and in front of you, you see these floating pieces of floor, these kind of flat levels of rock that appear to be floating through this emptiness, this vastness, this blackness, forming a series of steps. Some float away too far so you couldn't jump back on, and then come together like these sliding platforms. In front of you, you see that there's kind of a natural flow towards a series of these that go up, forming a kind of broken, shattered, dark obsidian tower. You look around, and above you, there are these enormous ships, almost snail-like in their construction, with an enormous back half shaped like a shell and a long pointed snout moving through the sky towards the tower. What do you do?
You said there were stairs?
There are like these big kind of like, you're on these like blocks of just rock that are floating through space, and so you can move through them. They kind of step up to create these stairs like shape.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. You're okay?
Hey. You don't think this has anything to do with the note we slipped under that wizard's door, right?
It crossed my mind. I think the only way to find out is to move forward.
I look around. Do I see any of the others?
Roll a perception check.
Well, that could have been good. 9.
You look around, you only see the things that I've described to you. You can go backwards or you can go forwards towards the tower.
We need answers. I say they're in front of us.
Okay, let's be real careful, though, okay?
Don't let go of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And we start moving forward.
You begin to move forwards, and every 25 feet or so, you have to hop onto another one, waiting patiently as some move apart and come together. As you hop onto one after about 5 minutes of travel, there's kind of another crackle, and one heads towards you, landing on top of the one you're on. And these figures start to crawl from underneath the bottom. This kind of black, almost like humanoid ant exoskeleton kind of people. And they get crushed underneath the weight of this landing kind of moat of earth. And they look at you, trying to escape the crushing.
I think I'm too shocked to do anything.
Yeah, I don't think...
Like, under normal circumstances, I'd maybe try to help, but like...
I'm like, Clarrybelle's like, the entire rule book has flown out the window, and I don't even know if anything I tried to do to help would be helpful.
Okay.
So I think I just grit my teeth and keep pulling Flick forward and just say, I'm so sorry to the crushed people.
As they reach out for you.
Wow. We got brutal.
From underneath, more of these creatures come on that previous piece of land, and they begin to lift and help their companions. And maybe 20, 30 of them begin to move towards you. Clarrybelle. The orb.
Okay, yeah.
The orb begins to glow. And they freeze. And it kind of casts this dim light around you in a circle. And it seems like they don't enter the light.
I don't know what you are, but we don't mean you any harm here. We're just looking for answers.
It's difficult for you to tell what happens next. They kind of squat. Is it a curtsy? Is it a bow? Are they recoiling in fear? You're not sure. But something happens, and they kind of look away from you and run away from you. And you continue on towards the tower. What is your passive perception?
16.
Flick.
Yeah?
A voice calls out. Flick, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I don't know what this accent is.
Hello?
Flick. It is me. It is Sildar. Can you hear me? Hello? Slowly the voice increases in volume and clarity.
Can I tell where it's coming from?
Roll a perception check.
13.
You can't discern an origin. It does seem to be kind of floating around you, like it's like coming from a loudspeaker or something. Not in your head, it's an external source.
Yeah. I'm here.
Flick, I don't know how this connection will... But I know that I only have a certain amount of time to speak to you.
Okay?
Cecil is here with me. He is an expert on these strange realms, and he tells me... In the tower, you need to destroy the obsidian tether.
Why don't you do it?
We have some at our end. If we do it here and you do it there, then get back safely.
Okay.
So please, I do not have long to tell you. You must...
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. We've got this.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, so that was Sildar.
Oh, thank God.
Hopefully.
She can get us out of this.
Sildar's voice.
Okay.
And She said that we need to go to the tower and we need to destroy the obsidian tether and then we'll get home safe.
All right. Well, those are clear instructions that I can follow.
Yeah. You know about rocks, right?
I know some about rocks.
There we go.
These aren't like... Are these like any rocks I've seen before?
Roll a history check with advantage.
Yeah, okay. 19.
Okay. There is something about these that seems volcanic.
Makes sense.
Does it?
Well, you just said we need to go find the obsidian.
That's
tether,
true.
so- yeah, makes sense. My dude.
There's something volcanic about this rock, but that's about the only thing that's familiar. So I'll do my best to be helpful, but this certainly ain't the kind of place I'm used to.
Volcanic like in the goblin pit? That had something volcanic about it, right? Yeah.
I mean,
So maybe there's goblins here too.
could be. I mean, volcanic is volcanic.
It's all right. If there's a pit, we know how to get out of it now.
All right. Well, I think we keep moving up for right now.
Okay.
You continue to travel upwards, and you arrive at this obsidian tower. It's broken apart, so from a distance it kind of seemed like one piece, but what you realize is that it's actually separated out over several of these different kind of floating platforms. You approach, and there is a square door that is made of just black. Do you open?
Knock first.
All right. We knock.
Okay. You knock. What languages do we speak?
Common, Dwarvish, and Elvish.
Common, Gnomish, Druidic, Elvish, Celestial.
None of you speak the language that is currently being communicated to you.
Is this the only way, it seems,
As
into
far as you
wherever
can
we
tell,
can go?
yeah.
I go.
Grrr.
There is no reaction from anything.
Stay behind me. And I put Flick behind me and I open the door.
You open the door and step forwards into this kind of inky black void of darkness. As you step in, the door closes behind you and it is pitch black and you can't see anything. What would you like to do?
Is this where we say Margot?
Do you have any way to cast light for us?
Not really.
Otherwise.
Wait, no, yes, I do. Yeah, screw it. I wild shape into one of my starry forms. Yeah, I go into my archer starry form and it casts bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet.
Okay. Fantastic. The room is lit up. On the inside of this room are these kind of symbols that you don't recognize. I mean, you would probably be most familiar with the style, knowing Celestial. There's kind of like New Celestial and Old Celestial, where originally it was like hieroglyphic, pictographic, but it is kind of melded and formed into what is now Elvish of kind of a script. And so what you're seeing here is a little bit of that older style of pictographic kind of writing in a language that you do not recognize. It is not like Celestial. It is not like any other language that you speak. You cannot see the wall in front of you. You can see the walls next to you and the wall that you entered from, but you cannot see the wall in front of you.
I am moving forward, maul drawn.
Okay.
Is there a ceiling?
You look up. There is no ceiling. Can you roll a perception check for me?
Always look up. I'm supposed to be good at these. I have a 9.
What a shame you don't find out that interesting piece of information.
Would have been great.
You cannot see the ceiling. And you continue to walk forwards. You walk, and your only symbol for the actual fact that you're moving or you're acknowledging is the movement of the walls to your side and the shifting of the patterns there. And then you reach a wall, what appears to be an end, and a ladder that goes upward.
We keep going forwards.
What if it's a really long ladder?
Then I guess we'll be climbing for a really long time, and I start climbing.
I really don't like ladders.
Okay. You begin to climb and climb.
Just heads up, this form only
Fine.
lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay. And as you begin to climb, the form dissipates. And you're left in inky black darkness.
Nope, don't like it.
And you continue to climb.
Yeah.
You do have torches. Probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will light a torch when we're not on a ladder, is what I'm going to say.
Yeah. You climb, and you climb, and you climb. Clarrybelle,
Yeah.
you hit your head on a roof. Or something.
I feel around to see if there's any kind of latch or anything that I can move out of my way, or any kind of empty space even like next to me that I can, a ledge or something.
There is a ledge.
All right. I would like to climb onto the ledge, and as Flick is climbing the rest of the way up, I light one of my torches.
You light the torch, and you're in a wide, open room. There are 3 kind of tall pillars that probably stretch 25 feet across, and they are filled with water. You can see straight through them. They don't appear to be made of glass, but maybe some kind of crystalline material. And you can hear softly singing this choir of voices and this music, dissonant, melodic, cacophonous, all at the same time. You feel kind of a little bit dizzy hearing it.
I don't know anything about what this could be.
Are the pillars similar to the pillars in, was it with Clark?
With Clark, yeah.
No.
Okay.
All right.
You also fell asleep to the sound of singing coming from the orb at one point.
Oh.
And for those of you that heard it, it was quite similar to that.
So do I recognize that it's...
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think I would like to physically get out the orb at this time.
Okay. The singing intensifies around you. It's not coming from the orb, but you can feel yourself being kind of attached and drawn into the orb, as if the singing is your whole world and experience at this time. And you feel as if you're being watched.
Does that go for both of us?
That does go for both of you, mostly for Clarrybelle.
All right. I start to move forwards through the room.
I'm going to see if I can maintain a good distance and try to get some distance between me and the orb.
Mm-hmm. About 30 feet, maybe?
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
You remain a little bit distant from the orb and continue to walk forward. Clarrybelle, the orb... It's difficult to tell where you begin and the orb ends.
Yeah.
You are making the decision to walk forwards. That's what you've been doing the whole time, but you do feel led by the orb.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for, honestly. I want the orb to tell me where to go.
And you walk forwards, and you reach a set of stairs, which you slowly begin to ascend. You don't see this, Clarrybelle, but you do, Flick. Remaining a little bit further back, these enormous creatures. It's difficult to tell because the crystal material is not fully transparent. Just these huge masses of some kind of creature float up through the water of each of these pillars. And you begin to hear just some words. You're not sure what it is, what language it is. There's definitely some kind of ancient celestial about it, but it also feels like it's just in common. The words, come.
I don't like that one bit.
Repeated over and over from different areas in different languages. Sometimes it's more celestial, sometimes it's more common.
I already didn't like the dark.
Not come.
Thanks. Thank you. I hate this. I mean, I don't think she really knows what to do. Like, maybe this orb is the only thing that's actually leading them. Like, they could be lost in the darkness. So I think she's going to keep following, but maybe, like, put it another 10 feet distance. Like, she's really dragging her feet, sort of, but also needing to be with Clarrybelle. I think we're just going to keep going for now, but really, really super freaked out.
Cool. You continue to rise up the steps, and you reach towards the top, and you can see there is a pedestal, upon which sits this black orb.
Does it seem obsidian?
It does.
I walk towards it.
Flick, you can see now the roof above you. You thought it was solid, but it's slightly transparent, as you can see these 3 figures, one for each pillar, these massive hulking somethings, the shadows moving above you towards the pedestal upon which this obsidian orb sits and moving towards your friend Clarrybelle.
Clarrybelle, look up.
Clarrybelle. You can hear quietly in your little world.
I'm going to impose on myself a wisdom saving throw to see if I register this as something urgent. No, I don't. I'm completely engrossed in what I'm doing.
The voices grow louder, and you approach. Flick, do you continue to walk up, or are you going to stop when Clarrybelle stops?
I'm going to walk closer, and I want to flank a little bit so I can see the orb, but I'm not blocked by Clarrybelle.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Certainly. So you're back to your kind of 30 feet.
Yeah, 30 feet, but
and
then
flanking out.
Flanking.
Yeah. Through the choir of voices, some voices start to come out stronger. And there are 3 voices that almost blend together, but you can hear 3 distinct tones. You have come. What is it that you have brought here to us?
Do I hear this too?
You both hear this.
I hold the orb in my hand. We've been through a lot in a very short amount of time. And somehow, all of it seems to keep connecting back to this funny little thing. So I want to know, if I'm bringing this to you, why?
We seek those to join the symphony, to bring us back from the brink of destruction, to draw us forward into the worlds beyond. Where did a small one such as yourself come across such a mighty gift?
We found it in a strange room, in a strange cave, and it seemed to hold sway over a creature that we destroyed.
I'm going to try to start sneaking forwards.
Who are you that you are messing with powers like this?
We are the conductors of the symphony.
And I'm sorry, I'm simple folk. I don't understand what it is that you're telling me.
Keep it close, small one. It is a gift that has been bestowed upon you. And you. And even though nobody's looking at you, you can absolutely tell that they're signifying both you, Clarrybelle, and you, Flick.
This gift, does it come with strings? And if so, where are they going to lead me?
Many voices are called to the symphony. Many fall at the hands of people such as you. Those who are strong will rise with us. You're holding a die, Miriam. What would you like to do?
I want to insight check these voices.
Sure.
I'll do the same.
16.
12.
I think I'm looking for honest, like whether what they've told us thus far is honest, and how much I think they're holding back.
I think this is her trying to figure out whether she's got the inkling that ancient not celestial language is maybe opposite, and these might be demons of some kind, and wondering whether she gets that vibe off of them.
Okay.
Off of the big floating shadows in the sky.
Flick. Yes, you can determine that this is definitely not celestial and that the mood is definitely different. Through your studies religiously as a follower of Saloon, you know a little bit about demons. This doesn't fit.
Okay.
It's weird. Definitely feels opposite, but it doesn't quite fit. You have no concept at all, Clarrybelle, of whether or not you're being told the truth or you're being told everything. Because, essentially, you are being told nothing.
Yeah.
You do feel yourself not compelled to listen, but not necessarily cognizant of how nonsensical this is.
Yeah.
Being the holder of the orb at this time.
Yeah.
So obviously, Flick, you're like, okay, what, like, but you're not making any sense.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, the symphony, yeah. I don't understand what you want from me, but
Yeah.
I get it. It's a symphony. You want us to be a part of the symphony.
I think I put the orb back in my pocket. And I say, I was never much of a musician, but I am a warrior. And I was told to break something. And I pull out my maul and I hit the obsidian orb.
Yes. I love this. Okay. Can you roll to hit?
Oh God, don't screw me over. Come on, baby. Oh, thank God. All right. 22.
Can you roll damage, please?
Yes, I can. Come on, baby. Okay. 13.
Okay. Your maul smashes into the obsidian orb, causes it to crack in several places and break. And you feel your grip on this world slowly slipping.
As my grip on the world slips, I want to dash for Flick
I'm pretty
and
close
just
to you at this
grab
point.
her.
Okay. You do so. You are being watched, small ones. We will call in time. As you fall to the ground, you each take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, fall damage, as you land in front of the entrance to Wave Echo Cave. And next to you, on the floor, dazed and dizzy, are your companions.
So we almost got recruited into some sort of weird shadow choir. I don't know what you were doing.
Choirs, am I right?
We can go to regionals.
Oh my God, demonic pitch perfect.
Yes.
Okay. I'm writing down regionals and demonic pitch.
Yeah, excellent.
I don't know how I can use it, but I can make that work somehow.
Yeah.
Stop the podcast. We're going to regionals.
Stop the podcast. We're going to regionals.
Zum, 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 zum. Yeah, no, the big showdown is we have to. It's not that we have to fight these shadow creatures; it's that we have to train a choir to battle against them in a what is it?
The
Riff off.
The riff off. Yeah.
Riff off. And we do it in real time. We get real quiet.
A shadow choir, you say?
Yeah, it's called the symphony. I didn't look, honestly, I didn't track much of it. I was a little
Who was
out of
speaking
it.
to you?
Voices?
3 giant shadowy beings in pillars.
I see. I suppose that you are just as confused as I am now.
Well, I don't know how confused
If
you
you're
are.
pretty confused, then yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say we're about even.
Well, I am just questioning what you're telling me because it does not make any sense.
It didn't make sense even at the time.
Like I said, I was in a weird kind of orb trance.
Mm.
I see. We only moved towards the tower. There were some strange creatures, all black, like kind of large insects.
Yeah, we like ants almost.
Yes, they are. They tried to attack us, but we managed to push them back with Cecil's light. Cecil tells us... What were you saying, Cecil? Yes. Well, there's rumor of a deep world that sits not underneath, but adjacent to ours. Some call it the void, the darkness. And in this world, they're held there by a series of tethers, so ancient they go beyond our own arcane magics. And by breaking those tethers, we can break them from our world. But sometimes they seek to break through. That we are so close and that somebody has come now is not good news.
I take your word for it. I don't
either.
Can I vibe check these fools?
Sure.
Can I check that they haven't been replaced by shadow demons?
Sure, roll an insight check.
Yay! 21.
They seem as you know them. You don't know them very well.
No, I don't.
But you see them as you know them. Gundren steps forward. This is an area that I do not have much expertise on, but absolutely, once we are finished here, I intend to go and study. Shall we? And he signifies towards the door.
Is it open?
If it's open, let's go.
It is not yet open.
Well, as soon as you're ready, we're ready. We're ready.
Okay. He steps forward and completes the work on the door, and the door swings open to reveal an ancient cavern, beautifully crafted, a mine, square, with intricate inlay of gold. Dwarven make, you instantly recognize Clarrybelle, with beautiful runes that speak of stories of uncovering magics and deep darknesses and uncovering the riches beneath. And you all begin to head inside. This is my first time in this kind of ruin, says Gundren. But I believe if we move in separate groups, we should be able to collect some information. I'm thinking that we'd only be moving maybe 100 feet or so down any direction. Enough that the rest of us can come find them as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Of course. I think I look to Sildar.
I'm right here. It's me who's talking, Gundren. What? Hello? Hello, Clarrybelle.
Are the other, is Tharden and Nundra
Tharden
here?
and Nundra are here.
Excellent.
Clarrybelle.
Yeah.
I don't wish to make any assumption that would be rude of me, but am I to understand that you have some knowledge of mines and stone?
Yeah, I know some. Not as much as perhaps yourself, but certainly I know some.
Flick, Clarrybelle, perhaps you can pair up and move together.
I wouldn't pair up with anyone else.
I will go with Sildar, and Nundro and Tharden will go together.
And do we still have Cecil and...
Yeah. I think, Cecil, you can go with Flick and Clarrybelle.
We'll keep you safe.
They may be in need of a healer. What's that face mean, Jess?
I can heal.
Oh, can you? Oh, I didn't know.
Doing an all podcast.
Well, then maybe...
How rough.
If I hadn't been lizard taking Gundren away, then I would have been able to help.
I honestly think it's funnier if he says that staring straight at Flick.
It's like,
You might need some help with healing.
to be fair, he probably doesn't know that I can...
No, not at all.
No.
Lambert, why don't you come with us?
All right.
You begin to move forwards.
Yep.
At the first kind of fork in the road, he continues on with you towards the right, and he sends off the other people to the left. And then there's another fork. Would you like to go right or left?
Let's go left.
Okay. You head left. 100 feet.
All right.
Anything further? Stop. Come back.
Of course.
Okay.
Otherwise, you get lost and you might die.
I understand.
Yeah. We won't go further than 100 feet, we promise.
I'm already going.
I'm already looking at my feet, at Flick's feet, and at Cecil's feet, trying to be like, which feet do we measure by?
And you split up. Who's taking point?
I think I should be at the front.
And I kind of look down at my feet, and I do that thing that kids do where they walk, where they like go heel to toe, and I'm counting exactly 100.
Perhaps I should keep count of our distance. I'm happy for you to remain in front. This seems to be your area of expertise, but I will keep track. Otherwise, we'll be moving quite slowly.
All right. It's just, I mean, we're going by my feet. So do you know how big exactly my feet are so you can get to 100 properly?
I'm sure I'll be able to manage.
And I'll, I guess, be investigating instead.
Roll perception.
16.
16.
2 16ths. You travel for 100 feet down. The writing on the wall is written in Dwarvish, and it tells a tale of a deep, dark mine that sought the secrets of magic to bless magic upon items and people who wish to wield ancient power beyond modern knowledge. It's kind of this rolling images and stories of going deeper and deeper and deeper into the mines. There is a repeated word. Can you roll a history check with an advantage, Clarrybelle?
Okay.
You can also roll a history check if you'd like, Flick.
13.
Okay.
Not incredible.
18.
The word is Gauntlgrim. You've heard the word before, both of you. In what context, you're not sure. It's an ancient tale, like a fairy tale, or maybe something in a history book you once saw, or you once told something by somebody really, really old and you weren't listening to them because you wanted to go outside and play games. But there's something about it that sounds familiar. Going deeper to Gauntlgrim, you reach about 80 feet, according to Cecil's estimations. And in front of you, there is an intricate circular door with a hanging kind of... It looks like a knocker, but it would be to turn and open.
He said 100 feet. We haven't reached it.
No.
That was not out loud.
Okay. Do you start moving forward?
I am reaching for the handle, yeah. We're not going any further than we were meant to.
Yeah, but my gut says more people for big ancient door good. Cecil?
I think that you both have good arguments. But I do tend to agree with Clarrybelle that we are not quite at our 100 feet. And if we do open the door and there's something on the other side, then we can just close it.
Okay.
I keep opening the door.
Okay. You lay your hand, you turn, and you swing open the door. And that's where we're going to end the session. You've been listening to Best Left Forgotten. You can find and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Best Left Podcast and on our Best Left Forgotten Facebook page where we post updates, info, and additional content. Music by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. Song list can be found in the episode description. Additional music by Jess Wolfendale. Cover art by Cattywampus, who can be found on Fiverr. Thanks to Jess Wolfendale, our editor, Miriam Feats, our social media manager, and Nathan Quadrio, our GM and producer. If you enjoyed our podcast today, please leave a review and tell your friends.